Well, after meeting the squad on yesterday's episode, I've managed to spend the rest of pre-season removing our team leader, going over our wage budget, somehow reducing our match cohesion. I was so convinced this year was going to be different. Hello and welcome to part 2 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we are going to meet our summer transfers, have a look at the tactics we're going to be using this season, and play our first game of the season at home against Hungerford in the Conference South. As you can see from the bottom here though, I am well over my wage budget and I'm not proud of myself. But I had no money to spend. I sat there and I had to make the decision. I couldn't identify any loans in time because I didn't have any scouts at the club. So I had no way of scouting anybody. I couldn't get scouts in quickly enough to then be able to go out and scout players to bring. It was a whole mess of things. And basically the only players I could try and recruit were free transfers. And I needed a defender. I needed wingers because I had none at the club. And then I needed a backup keeper and, needed a striker. And yeah, you know how this goes with me. So we're now £700 a week over our wage budget, which might not seem like a big deal. But over the course of a season, that's like £75,000. It's going to wipe us out completely. That's assuming we were budgeted to run at a profit in the first place, which I'm fairly confident we weren't because I've managed in the lower leagues before. Let's meet the transfers and then you can let me know if you think this was good business or not. Holy smoke, did we sign that many players? Oh, okay, it's included the ones that were signed before I arrived. I was going to say, I didn't think I'd got that carried away. So a lot of these are the players who came in before I arrived. The ones that I actually did start here with Stewart Wilkin, who I think is going to be a superstar for us. He is an out-and-out natural left winger, right winger. We're going to be playing a flat midfield 4, so he needs to retrain to be able to play a little bit further back. But when you're as good at those two positions as he is, very attack-minded, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. I've got no harm. I don't think there's any harm in playing him back here. And if he doesn't perform, we'll just shift him further forward. And I don't think we're missing very much if we do that. He came in on a free transfer from Southampton, who he last played for like 3 years ago. He is 20, so he's not at a club for a little while. But look how much better he is than our other options. Even on the right-hand side of midfield, he's much better. We might end up shifting our wingers further forward because we've signed a few other attack-minded wide players as well. Andrew Mills is another one who's come in. He's the one we wasted, but I won't say wasted because I think he'll be very important for us. He's the one we spent most money on. £325 a week is a lot of money, but we only had one real first-team quality centre-back, and Mills has come in and he's better than him. Although apparently Tom Bender's still our best left-back, still our best centre-back, but Mills is coming from Woking, where he last played a few years ago. Oh my word, what have I done? We're paying him a lot of money, but he is 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. I think he'll end up being a very important player for us. I hope he is, because we're paying him an awful lot of money. Christian Nanetti is an attacking wide midfielder on the other side. He's natural on the right as well, just like Wilkin. So we've got the option of playing both of these on either side, but we are going to be playing Nanetti on the left-hand side of midfield initially. We might, like I said, we might end up pushing the wingers further on, but if we do, we're going to be doing a 4-4-2. If we do push the wingers further on, I'm be inclined to drop one of the strikers back, and I have a plan for that as well, based on who I've brought in. Nanetti's actually played football last season in this division for Welling United. Lots of football under his belt. He's got a bit of experience. He's in on a non-contract as well, so we're not actually paying him unless we play him, which is good. After spending all that money on wages, I then decided to go a bit cheap with some backup. So Ben Dale is 16. We're giving him a £5 a week. We're basically giving him pocket money. He's never had a club before. He's actually a new gen. We've signed our first new gen. Hooray! He's a defensive winger and can actually play on the left-hand side of midfield rather than as an out-and-out winger. So he might end up playing more games than I'm anticipating at the moment if Nanetti doesn't work, playing a little bit deeper. Bradley Mcdonough comes in as our backup goalkeeper. I know that's a lot of money for a backup keeper, £120 a week, but he's got 5-star potential and he's almost as good, if not maybe already better than Snedker. So I think he's worth bringing in. Was it Sheffield Wednesday? Years ago. What have all these players been doing? I think I've signed a bunch of players who've been in prison. I'm not accusing these real life people of being in prison. That was a joke. I know they've probably not been in prison. Connor Russo is an 18-year-old winger or right-hand-sided midfielder. Another one with up to 5-star potential. Came in from Stoke, was there last year, but has never played a game. He's roughly equivalent to Wilkin on the right-hand side of midfield, but when they push further forward, he does drop down the pecking order a little bit. But likewise, with Dale versus Nanetti, if Russo ends up being better than Wilkin, because it's actually his natural position, he might get more games than I intended. And then my last one, I signed this guy as a striker, but with a view to, well, he can play attacking midfield as well. And if we do need to drop a striker back, we don't really have anyone who's capable of doing that. We do. Now we've got Sedic in, we're only paying him £65 a week. I guess of all of them, this one was a little bit frivolous and a little bit of a luxury. But you know what? It gives us a little bit of extra flexibility in the squad, and that can't be a bad thing, surely. So in addition to transfers, I mentioned that I'd messed up the dynamics. I have. Match cohesion was average, it's now poor. Dressing room atmosphere has now gone down to average from good. Noble was previously a team leader, but I took the captaincy off him, which has made him only highly influential. Although Sambu, who's now captain, has moved up to influential, but we now have no team leaders. Finances wise, yeah, we already know that's a little bit of a mess. The media have noticed that I've messed things up and have moved our media prediction down from 17th to 18th, so they're not happy with what I've done. Today's the day we have to prove them all wrong. And this is the team that we're putting out there to do that. We have 3 different tactics that we're training. They're all variations of a 4-4-2. They're all very non-leaguey 4-4-2s. They're all basically the preset tactics, just with slight tweaks to personalised roles and stuff, really. But we've got a direct counter-attack, which is going to be our main system. We know that we've got strong fullbacks, although Hurd is injured. If we take off unavailable, we can see I've still got lots of players in on trial who are not going to sign, but Hurd is going to be out for another month or so, which is really handy. But we built a system that was based on the fact that we are quite strong defensively, especially having brought Mills in as well. So this one is a direct counter-attack system. Variant number 1 is park the bus, for if we go in the lead and we're trying to defend. Variant 2 is route 1, for if we're just not getting anywhere and we need to try a different route towards attacking. It's still not an attacking system. I don't think we've got the capacity to go out and attack, but it just gives us a plan B. It's important to have a plan B. But this is the team that's going out there today. We're going out there with the direct counter-attack. We are at home against Hungerford. I have no concept of how good Hungerford are. I've very rarely in my life managed in the Conference South. I'm usually a Conference North man. We had that couple of seasons with Bath last season in Non-League to Legend. But outside of that, I ain't got a clue. So Hungerford might be brilliant. They might be awful. Can we get a media prediction on Hungerford? General media prediction, 20 seconds. So we should be able to beat Hungerford. We're going to counter-attack all the same. And we're going with Snedker in goal. A back four of Bender, Mills, Sambu and Kianjibani. Percy. We're just going to call him Percy. Kianjibani. In fact, sorry, Percy. You've lost your surname already. So we're going to have Percy at right back. And then in midfield, we've got DaCosta, Noble, Camjo and Wilkin with Merson and Banton up front. Remember, Merson, Paul Merson's son, got 20 goals last season, so I've got high hopes for Sam Merson. Zane Banton, not quite so high, but you know, if they get 30 goals between them again this year, we're going to finish at least in mid-table, which is what the media are looking for. So let's get into the game. It's been a mixed pre-season. I've no idea. This is going to give us a good idea of what we're in store for this season. If this goes well, then I'm going to start to feel a little bit more confident. If it doesn't, I will start to panic. Look at Snedker's beard. What a man. He's my new hero. Right, team talk-wise, I mean, we're just going to calmly... I don't want to tell him to have fun. What kind of manager am I going to be? With favourites out there, go out there and show me why. There you go. Percy loves it. He loves the fact he's got a nickname as well. Let's kick off and, fingers crossed, go out there and just have a sensational performance. We're in the yellow, for those of you who weren't sure. I keep getting confused. I don't ever remember managing a yellow team before, and I keep... Why are we so far away? We've just scored from a corner while I'm adjusting how far away we are. I mean, we must be in a helicopter for the view that we had from there. That was ridiculous. So far away, unless we're on top of one of these houses. But now we've zoomed in a little bit. And that's Tom Bender, left back Tom Bender, with a towering header to put us 1-0 up after 5 minutes, which is awesome. Now we really can't. Should we park the bus now? Park the bus now. Get the bus in. Goodness me. Get that camera off the top of the bus. We need to park it. But really, for our counter-attacking system to be successful, we kind of don't want to see another highlight now. Let's just play this out. We'll be fine. They're coming down our right-hand side a lot, which is weird, considering that's where Bender hangs out, and he's our best player. He almost scored again from that free kick there, but they're charging down this right-hand side, and that's where our best defender is. Noble now with a free kick. Oh, that must have been across the line. Do we have VAR at this level? The linesman's flagging. What's he flagging for? Probably the throw on, Kev. I felt like that was across the line. The keeper looked like he was certainly stood behind the line as he pushed it out. I still don't understand why they're focusing their attack down the side of the pitch. That's going to give them zero success. We are going to switch that around though in a second on there so we've got the league tables. I know we don't necessarily need them yet, but I like to have the league tables on there. Things are going well. You're capable of even better. Percy loves it again. Percy's my new best friend. Herd's never getting back in this team because Percy is the man. We've got Snedker's beard and Percy just being great. Noble now with another free kick. This is really what we're looking for from Noble. Is that Bender again? No, it's not. It's Camjo this time. Bender was very close to it, but exactly what we're hoping for. We're keeping things tight at the back and we're scoring from set pieces. Noble is going to be invaluable from these set pieces this season, and we're 2-0 up just after half time. And if we can keep 36-year-old David Noble fit to continue delivering set pieces the way he has today, we are going to be absolutely fine. What I am a little bit worried about is he is 36. Do we have another man who can deliver set pieces at the quality that he has in this game so far? We're on the attack again. It's our first attack from open play. Banton's in and it's 3-0. We're rampant. And that one was actually from open play. Zane Banton does a cartwheel, and I don't blame him. That was glorious stuff. Lovely deep cross from that right wing. Merson's involved in the build-up, plays it out to Wilkin. This is why we're paying Wilkin as much money as we are. Just a first-time cross. Banton gets under it. It's enough to tip it over the goalkeeper. We're 3-0 up. Put the bus away. We're parking nothing, boys and girls. And we're getting another replay. Is this because their suspicions are offside? There were suspicions, but he's absolutely not offside. And I'm quite impressed that St Albans have got that kind of technology available to check it out as well. Good work, St Albans. I like to see the fact we're investing in the club. There's no player budget, but we've invested in a little bit of Hawkeye. Right, what are we going to do? We've got a lot of players who are very tired. David Noble, in particular, he's done his job for today. We don't need to keep him on the pitch. It'd be interesting to see who takes the set pieces when he's not on, because I haven't set that. Merson can come off as well, and we'll bring Moyo on in his place. I don't know anything about Moyo other than the fact that he's a striker or who can also play out on the wing. He's a new signing this summer. I mean, he's scored goals at this level before. Oh, he's a former cobbler, and he used to play for Stamford, that's like 8 miles from where I'm sitting right now. If I wasn't sitting in St Albans, obviously, because I am really in St Albans. But he's got pluses and minuses. The fact he's played for Stamford, I like. The fact he's played for Northampton does taint him a little bit. Right, they've got a goal back. We need to make sure. We might need the bus after all, lads. Just keep an eye on things here. They've had a bit of a... this is shades of the Eton save we did last year. Ball over the top that we can't deal with. And, they just head it across goal to where we've not got anyone defending, which, considering the amount of money we're spending on defenders, is a smidgen of a worry. I'll try not to read too much into it at this stage. And you know what? I think I will park the bus. 10 minutes to go. I know we've got a 2-goal advantage. We should be able to defend that for 10 minutes. We're going to take off DaCosta and bring on Wyatt, who's a much more defensive-minded, wide player. Really a left back, but can play on that left of midfield as well. Certainly as a defensive winger, and we've been let off the hook a little bit there as well. Hungerford. They're gonna be going away feeling a little bit disappointed that they've not got anything out of this game, assuming they don't find a way into it in these last 5 minutes, which we do need to be wary of. This is where we find out if we've got the quality to park the bus, because obviously it's all well and good sticking men behind the ball and defending, but if you're poppycock at defending, it doesn't do you any good anyway. So fingers crossed we managed to hold on. And I'm afraid of not having Noble on the pitch, and they've got another good opportunity again there. unbelievably, first clear-cut chance of the game for either team. But, yeah, I think we've been quite lucky. Remember, this is Hungerford, who are supposed to finish 22nd this season. So it's one of the worst teams in the league. And although we were good at set pieces, from open play, we have laboured a little bit. We are going to be very much reliant on set pieces this season. But for today, I'm happy. We've won our first game. We've won it, as the scoreline suggests, very comfortably. And that, we've got to be happy with that. Surely, a winning start. Excellent stuff. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.